Ready? Hello, welcome to today's video on Power BI. For data analysis, we are taking you through a complete step-by-step process on how to perfectly clean a data set, alright, in Power BI using Power Query. And in this particular video, the data set that we are going to be using is called the FIFA 2021 data set. I'll be leaving it in the description or in the comment section down below. If you're interested, you can download it and follow as I take you through this step-by-step process. Alright, so yeah. This is going to be our data set. So I'm importing the data into Power BI, all right, and we'll be transforming the data set in Power BI. So this is a data set, and yeah, it's loading. So let me look at this. All right. So I've imported the data set into Power Query in Power BI. So this is our data set. All right. This is the data set we'll be working with. Okay. It's very messy. So you see things like this. We'll be working on things like this because this says contract. It says 2002 2022. I'll prefer we just separate, have two columns for it, where we have contract start and contract end. All right. So by the way you come down, you can see we have this. So we are going to do some proper cleaning on this actually, and then let me see. So like I said, I like to go through my data sets to know what I'm working with. So this loan date end. So when we looked at that one, we had loan on loan. So we had a start loan, and this is a loan date end. So go with some data cleaning here as well. And this we are going to have to clean these particular things that we have here. All right, but let me check and see. These are in millions. In millions. That's good. But just to be sure, I can see they are all in millions. That's an M. But I just want to be sure if there are any all right, so you can see here that we have some keys, so we have to either convert everything into k or into m's, all right, into thousands or into millions. That's what it simply means. And I'm pretty sure these ones will also be having the same thing. So thousands, and we have anything like millions. So we'll be looking at these columns too, because I'm not entirely sure. Since we have one with thousands and millions, I think the other ones will also be. So we can either change all of them to millions, or we can change them to thousands, all right, to make it standardized. All right, okay. Now this ones, we are probably going to remove some of the columns. There's columns that we wouldn't really be using. We can just remove them. So yeah, this data set is going to be really something. So let's delve right in and start with our data cleaning. So the first column, the ID column, I'm pretty sure everything is fine here. So I'm going to leave this as it is. The data type is correct. It's in numeric form. So and these figures here are numeric. So I think this is fine. And then we have this name and this long name column. Now let me see. Some of the names, you can see that these are not really the right names. So what you can do is you can copy these names. All right. If you want to do that, if you want to do everything like that, it's going to take forever. So you can do it on your side. For example, a name like this, what you can do is you can select it, only that name. All right. And then you can Control C, copy it. You can go and put it in your Google. Data set is off, and then you can probably just search for the name and you can come in and fix it here. All right, so that shouldn't really be an issue. So yeah, so now this column and this column we can is the same thing. I think this is a short names and this is a long name, so we can decide to take one. So I'll probably prefer to use a long name, so I'll remove this column. All right, I'll remove this column. Now we have the footer URL and the player URL. Now I'm not taking any one of them out now because I'm not sure what will be going on with them. Okay, so let's move on to nationality. So nationality, we have this and it's showing the validity is 100% and there's no error. Now let's check and be sure. I think yeah, it looks good to me. Then now we have the age column as well. The data type is correct and the validity is 100%. So this is also showing that it's very much correct. Everything here is good, but you can go along and check them if you have a doubt. Then this over, I'm going to clean the title. All right, and this is also showing me that it's numeric and the items are numeric, so I know this looks good. And the view is showing that it's 100% and there are no empty cells, there are no errors, so I'm going to think that is right. This also the same thing. And then with the club as well, so the club is also showing everything the same, but you can see that when it comes to the text columns, there are some spelling mistakes and spelling errors, so we can easily go click on the particular item, go look for the actual name. So like this, you can see this Atletico, because I know the team, I know the name of the team, so I know this Atletico Madrid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit and I'm going to select this. Then I'm going to come right here. I'm going to click on replace values. and I'm going to put that particular thing, what I just selected for Atletico Madrid. Oh, excuse me. So let me, okay, I'm going to go to, I'm looking for Atletico Madrid. So I'm looking for this one. All right. So I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to select Atletico Madrid. Click on OK so that I can select it. All right. So if you have the time, you can do that as well. So now I'm going to click on this. I'm going to copy. All right. And then I'm going to say, all right. Now that I'm done, I'm going to select all of them. OK. Now I'm going to go to replace value. I'm going to put this in here. Oh, this is, what is this? Give me a moment. I'm not sure why it's not copying. So I've copied it. Let me put it down here. Yeah, so there's it. So I know I've copied it. So if it's not working, you can just put it in a word, all right? And then you can copy it from the word. And then now I can just go back. It's okay. Now that I've copied it, now place value. And I'm going to put it right here because I've recopied it. And then I'm going to type the right thing. So this is Atletico Madrid. All right, I'm going to hit on OK. And you see it's changed them. So the Atletico Madrid have changed. All right. So you can do them for all of them. So let's do another one for this. This should be Bayern Munich. All right. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to go to my word because if you just try putting it there, it's not going to work like we saw. So I'll put it in word and I'm going to copy it from word again. So this, and I'm going to come in there like so. Then I'm going to go to my replace values. All right. And then I'm going to paste it here. Then I'm going to type the right thing. I'm going to say FC Bayern Munich or Munich. All right. And you can see it's working now. All right. So you can go through them and then see for yourself the ones with bad spellings. You can just work on them. All right. You can just do the transformation for them, and that's fine. So you can go through them one after the other. All right, and that should work fine. And then now after that, we are going to go to contract. Now this place, when we look at the contract, what we can see, like I said, the contract is starting from 2002, ending at 2022. All right. Likewise, this is starting from 2004, ending at 2021. Okay. But if we come right down here, the formats are different. So if I try splitting this column, it's not going to work. All right. If you try splitting this, because there are different types of formats in this particular column. The data entry guy, the person that entered the data set, did this, and then at the same time, another person came to do this, another also left it like this. So it's not going to work. So what we can do is we need to separate these ones, this format from this format from this format, and then work on them one after the other. All right, so that once we are done, we can merge all as one. Okay, because if you try splitting, like I said, how are you going to split them? Are you going to split them by this particular symbol, or are we going to split them by the space and a comma symbol? Okay, so you can't really split a column like this, a column if it's in this format, if it's in this form, if the formats are different. So you could have 2019 and then this symbol 2026 or 2020 slash 2022. It's still not going to work. You can't split such columns because you only have an option to use one delimiter to split a column. And so if the columns are in different formats, it's not going to work. So what we are going to do, how are we going to go about solving this particular column or working with this particular column? And that's what I'll be taking you through. Okay, so what I can do is that I need these columns separately from the other columns so that I can work on these columns and then separate these columns with this delimiter. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to add column and I'm going to use a conditional column. Okay, and what I'm going to say is that, so the heading or the column name is contract. What I'm going to say is, now I need items, so the column name items with this symbol. All right, so with this symbol. Okay, so that's a column name. That's the only item that I want for this particular column. I only want items with this symbol. So I'm going to say, it says if column name. Now what column name are we working? We are working with the contract column. So I'm going to say if the contract column, all right, contains, so you have all this, you have equals, does not equal, begins with, does not begin with, end with. But what I need is contains, because I need item that contains this. I'm going to say if it contains what? It's a value. So I'm going to say value. So if it contains this particular item, then I need that particular column, which is a contract column. All right, which is a contract column. Then I'm going to hit on OK. Now what's going to do is going to give me items with this. So this column is going to have items with this particular item or delimiter. All right, so if you click down here, you see that now we do not have the other free and other stuff. All right, we only have items that are in this particular format. All right, we only have items that are in this particular format with this delimiter. So if you scroll through, that's what you're going to see. So now once we have this, now we can split this into contract begins and contract end. We'll go back to the other ones and take them as well. All right, so now I have this. Now the next thing that you need to pay attention to, or you need to look at, is that if you try to split this, All right, so we can actually split this column. There's one that we look at. So we are splitting the column. We are splitting by that particular sign. Also, we'll go to the custom and then we put the sign in ourselves. Go to say this. All right, and I'm going to hit on okay. So we are splitting the columns now. All right, good. So now I'm splitting the columns. Now if you look here, you can see that it's been splitted. We only have this is the contract beginning. All right, and the other one, the other column over here, this is the contract end. All right, so the contract end from the contract beginning. So we split the column. So I want to change this and say contract begin. All right, enter. And I'm going to change this. Now I'm going to say contract end. All right, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay. So now once I'm done with this, I need to go back and pick the other ones too. Okay. I'm going to come here. So this is still here. All right, the contract is still here. But now I need free the players who are on free or who are free of charge. All right, I only need this. So again, I'm going to go back and do the same thing for only free. Or I'm going to go to conditional column. Now pay attention to the spelling. All right, because if I type this, okay, let's see. If I type this and I say if contract, again we are basing our this on contract, contains free, I type this and I say I want the contract column. All right, and I hit this. Now what's going to happen is that this is showing as now. So it's showing that I didn't get any data from that particular contract. However, we know that there's free in that particular column, right? There's free data in that particular column. So why is it giving me this, that there's no data? And that's what I want to show you. So let's remove this, all right? And then go back, and then let me show you something. All right, so contract, and I want to show you something. Now if you look here, you see that the spelling is capital F and then R-E-E, all right? So this is capital F-R-E, but initially when I was doing it, I used small letters throughout, and that's why it gave me now values, because there's no word like that in that column. There's no word like small free, small F, small R, small E, and small E in that column, all right? So I need to spell a word and use the capital F as the search item. All right, so I'm going to go with contains, and I'm going to say capital F3, and let's see if this is going to work. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say contract. So that's the column that we are looking for. And now what do we have? Now you can see that we are actually having the item free for contract. So sometimes when you are doing it and you realize that you know there are items there but it's not working, check the spelling of the item. All right, let's check the spelling and you know that there's something wrong. Okay, so now we've gotten our contract begins, contract and free. There should be another one that we need, right? And that is the ones with the full date format. So now we need these ones. Now these ones, December 31st, 2020 on loan, simply means that this 2020 is going to be the contract begin term, and the person is on loan. And there's another column where we're checking which shows when the loan is supposed to end. And so in this particular way, what we need is we only need the 2020 as the loan begin date or as the contract begin date. All right, from these ones. Okay, but first of all, let's take these ones out of the equation. Now, what are we going to base our conditional column on? We are going to base it on the on loan. All right, so I'm going to say if the contract or if the item has on loan, then we want only those items. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to come back here to conditional columns. Now I'm going to name this on loan. All right, now I'm going to say that if my contract column, so we are still on the contract column. All right, if my contract column contains on loan, then I need my contract column. All right, I need my contract column, so that's what I want, and then I hit on OK. All right, and so I have my on loan. So this is going to show me details of items that are on loan or players who are on loan. Okay, so you have it all here. All right, so now like I said, what we really need, we don't need the generated, we only need the 2021, and then that is all that we need. All right, we really need the 2021, and whether it's on loan, but the on loan there's another column that gives us when the loan ends, so we'll be taking on the 2021. All right, and so now that we have this column standing alone, what we can do is that we can split the columns, where we can just split by the delimiter comma. All right, so we have this and then we have these ones. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to say good. So this is what I wanted to show you. Now you can see that when we right click on this, we are not getting the split. So you might be asking why we're not getting split and other things. We are not getting them because this particular column has text and numbers mixed together. It has text and numbers mixed together. So we need to inform the data type or Power BI that the data type we want for this should be one and the same. So I'm going to say we need to make it text, okay? Or I'm going to make it text for all. Now once I make it text for all and I right click, you can see that now we have this. So when you come here and you are trying to split it before giving, just change the data type, all right, to something that makes sense, and to give you the option to do your splitting, okay? So I'm splitting by delimiter, and I'm splitting by the delimiter comma, all right? And I'm going to say okay now. All right, so I have it splitted into two. So now we have this as one, and then we have this. Now we also have this as one. Now this is a column that we want to work with. All right, so I'm deleting this column, or I'll be removing this column. All right, so we have just this column. Now having this column, one thing we can do is that we can change the unknown. We can take the unknown out and make it now, okay, or make it nothing. All right, so that the 2020, 2021, and so on and so forth will stand alone. Okay, and because it's in text form, we made the data type text, it's easier to do that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, right click, and I'm going to say replace values, and then I'm going to replace the unknown that we have attached to the years. All right, the unknown that we have attached to the years with nothing. I'm replacing them with nothing. All right, and then I'll click on OK. Now what's going to happen is that now it's just going to give me my years. All right, and this is the years that I want. This is what I want. All right, I just need the years. So this is what I want. So now I have my years 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So this is what I have. So now that I have this, so I'm going to change and say on loan beginning. So this is when the loan begins. All right, this is when the loan begins. So now I have this. What am I going to do? Now I need to merge this column and this column and this column as one. All right, I'm going to merge this one on loan beginning, free, and then contract begins as one, so that we are going to have contract begins or contract slash loan slash free beginning, or free times contract slash contract slash loan beginning. So we have those ones as one. All right, and then we have our contract end standing alone. Okay, so I'm going to, after selecting, so you can see I've selected all of them. I've selected this, control select this, control select this. So these are the ones that I want. All right, so now that I have this, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to merge columns. Now I'm going to say, how do I want to name this? I want to name this free slash column slash loan start. All right, so this is how I want to name the column, and I'm going to hit OK. All right, so now when I come here, all right, so now when I come here, this is what I want to see. Now this is what I want to see. All right, so now my data set is in good shape for me to continue. Okay, and then I have my contract end there. All right, now let's go back. So once I have this, I'm going to delete that particular column, this one. So this is where I took my distance from. So not confuse me, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to right click and I'm going to remove it, because now I have the information I need from that. So now I look at positions, and positions looks okay to me. Now height, does height look okay? We'll come back and check weight. What I want to do is I want to check if there's, so we have the loan date. All right, so loan date or contract end date. All right, so now let's look at this too, and this also has a different format. All right, it has like this. Now this is a loan date end. So loan date end, what we need is a year. We don't need this, we don't need that. We only need the year, right? The year that the loan ends. Okay, the year that the loan ends. So we need to get this information as well for this particular column. Because it's all in this format, we can easily split by delimiter using the slash. All right, and so that's what we are going to do. So I'm going to come here, right click, and I'm going to say that I need to split the column. All right, so this is also in ABC or 1 2 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to text, going to change the data type to text. All right, because it's not in date format. All right, and then I'm going to come to split by delimiter. Now I'm going to choose slash. I'm going to choose this, and if I hit on OK, now what's going to happen is that, yeah, what's going to happen is that we're going to get this. We are going to get this. All right, and this is not what I want. All right, I actually need just a year, not the month and day. So I'm going to go back. You can go back from a step, all right, by clicking here. So I'm going to go back. I don't want to split anymore. Then what I want to do is I want to split it again, but this time in a different light. All right, split by delimiter. I'm going to click on. So going to put in my slash. But this time I'm going to say rightmost delimiter, so that I need only the year. All right, so rightmost delimiter, because I only need the year. All right, so now I have the 2020, 2021. So now this is what I want. I want only the year. So yeah. All right. So now I've gotten the year. Now what I can do is I don't need this, so I can take this out. All right. So now I can remove this. Okay. Because I only need for the year, and I have the year. So now what I can do is that now I have to merge this one, this particular column, to the contract end, to this particular column. All right. So that I just get contract or loan end. All right, as one column. So I'm going to merge them. I'm going to merge them, and I'm going to say contract slash loan end. And I'm going to hit on OK. Okay, good. So now I have my contract and loan end and years for the data set. Okay, now I have my contract and loan end. All right, so now this is it. So now I'm going to have to go back and delete that particular one. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I've actually measured it. So all right. So now let's continue. All right. So now that I'm done with that, I want to look at the height. Okay. Now let's look at the height. We are going to see something. Now you can see that the height we have for some centimeters, and we also have for inches and feet. All right. We have inches and feet. Now this is going to cause a problem in our analysis. So you can either change everything into inches and feet or everything into centimeters. All right. So just as we did for the other columns with the conditional column, we are going to do the same for this, and then separate this from this. All right. Separate the centimeters from this one. All right. So what I'm going to do here, so first I need to take my centimeters out. So I'm going to come here. All right. I'm going to say height in centimeters only. All right. And the column name is height. So I'm going to say if height contains cm. All right. If height contains cm, then I need the height column. All right. Then I need the height column. Simple as that. So now this column has only the height. All right. Now what I can do is that I can just take the cm out. All right. I can just take the cm. I can put the cm on top here. So I just take the cm out of it. So what I can do is that I can just come here, change it to text, right click, and I'm going to say replace values, and that is replace the cm's with nothing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to call this height in centimeters only. All right. Let me leave this for now. Then I'm going to come back here. Where is it? Where is it? Height. Where's the height? All right. So now I'm going to come back here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of these. Okay. So let's see if I can choose one from here. All right. Oh, I can't. It's taking so much time. So I'm just going to say, you know what? All right. I'm just going to say this. I only need the format to. All right. So let me turn this on. So I need this. Let me turn on my data. Oh, stuff. All right. So now the question is, how many times? Hold on. Can you give me a minute? All right. So now the question is simple. If I want to change everything to centimeters, then 5 inches or feet to centimeters is what? All right. And I'm checking from my phone. So it's showing that 1 foot to centimeters is 30.48. So let me put that right here. So 1 is equal to 30.48 centimeters. Right. So this is equal to 30.48 centimeters. So then if that is equal to 0.48 centimeters, then that's inches. then 1 inch is equal to 2.454 centimeters. All right. So if 1 is equal to 30.48, this one to 1, this is equal to 2.54 centimeters. All right. So this is what we have. And so what this simply is saying is that, so if there is 5, so this particular one over here, this is 5 inch, 5 foot 10 inches. All right. So this is 5 foot 10 inches. So what it means is that we need to convert 5 foot 10 inches into centimeters. All right. It means we need to do this. Okay. So that is why I went to do my research on what 1 foot is in centimeters and what 1 inch is in centimeters. All right. Okay. So now that we have that, now we can separate that column as well. Okay. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to choose this name. And we can see if column height, if this column does not contain cm, then I actually need a column. All right. Then need a column height. All right. Okay. So now we have this column for inches and foot. Okay. We have this column for inches and foot only. All right. Now, like I said, one is inch, one is foot. So we need to separate this from this. Okay. And we can separate this from this with this apostrophe sign over here. Okay. So that's what we are going to use as our delimiter. All right. So I'm going to say foot and inch. Okay. All right. So once I have this, change this to text, and I'm going to split the column by delimiter. And what's the delimiter that I'm splitting by? I'm splitting by this particular one over here. All right. So yeah. Okay. So good. So now we have this for the foot. All right. For the foot only. And for the foot only. And now we have this. These are the inches. Okay. These are the inches. All right. And because we are converting into centimeters, we need to multiply. So it's like, so if 1 is equal to 30.45 centimeters, then what is 5 foot going to be? All right. And then if 1 inch is equal to 2.45 centimeters, then what is 10 inches going to be? All right. So that's why I've put it over there for you. All right. So this is for the foot only. And I'm going to say inches only. Inches only. Okay. I just want to change the title so that we are clear. All right. So now that I have this, now I'm going to change this into whole numbers because we are going to be doing some multiplications. We can't do the multiplication with text. We need to do the multiplication with whole numbers. I've already explained this. The data types, when we are working with data types and aggregations, we need to be sure that the data type is in a format that you can actually aggregate. So if it's in text, then you can use aggregation. It has to be in numeric, whole numbers, decimals, and all of that for you to do the aggregation. Okay. And so now we have this for the foot. So what aggregation are we going to do? Now I'm going to come back here and tell you that 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. And some of them you are looking at 5 foot, some of them you are looking at 6 foot. If you look here, 5 foot and 6 foot. All right, let me see if there's more. Okay, so 5 and 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this particular column and I'm going to come here to standard and I'm going to multiply it. All right, so what am I multiplying by? So if 1 is equal to 30.448, then I'm going to multiply it by 30.48 to be in centimeters. So I copy this, come here, and I put it here. So I'm multiplying this column by this figure, right? And I'm going to hit on OK. So it says multiplication. So I'm going to change this to foot in centimeters. All right. So now let's check in and see. So what you can see is that now it's changed. It's 152 because we've multiplied the 5 inch that was in the foot only by the 30.48 and the 6 that was in the foot only by 30.48. All right, so that I can get it in centimeters. So now these items are in centimeters, all right? But don't forget, it's not just foot. We also have the inches. So now we have to convert the inches also into centimeters. Do you understand? All right. So we are going to come here, and I'm going to say, all right. So these two I'm going to convert. So I need to change this to whole number. I'm going to change this to whole number, and I'm going to multiply it. And what am I multiplying by? I'm multiplying by this. All right. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put this in here, and then okay. So this is going to be inches in centimeters. All right. Okay. So now I have the inches items, the inches only converted into centimeters. So these are centimeters or the equivalent inches. All right. Okay. So I'm going to click on OK. So now that I have the foot only and the inches only, I need to sum up both of them to have them in centimeters. All right. Because it was 5 foot this inch, okay, 6 foot this inch, so they are one and the same. And so now that I have the foot in centimeters only and I have the inches in centimeters only, I need to add both of them in order to get only centimeters. Do you understand? All right. So I'm going to this. I'm going to copy this, select this as well, and I can add them. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say add. So it's going to do the addition for me. All right, so you are going to have 162.56. So this is the addition, the summation of the inches and then the what, and then the foot. All right, I hope you understand and you're following. Okay. So one thing I can also do is, especially for things like 167.64, I can just round them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round them up. The addition. I'm going to go to rounding, and I'm going to say round. Let me use round to maybe round to 1 decimal place or something. Yeah. And I'm going to say okay. So I've rounded it to 1 decimal place. Okay. Okay. So now I have my foot inches in centimeters. Foot and inch in centimeters. All right. So now that I have my foot and inch in centimeters, I'm going to delete the remaining ones. Okay, or remove them. So I'm going to remove this, then this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to remove these columns. Okay, so now I have height in centimeters only, and I have foot and inches also in centimeters. So now I can measure this and this as one, and I have everything in centimeters. All right. So now I'm going to have my height in centimeters. So I'm going to copy this, then this, and I'm going to measure them. And I'm going to say height in centimeters. All right. And I'm going to click on OK. All right. So now I have my height in centimeters. So everything in here is now in centimeters. All right, everything is in centimeters. We no more have the inches and foot and all of that. No. So if you see, I'm downloading. So once I scroll through, you realize that we didn't have the problem that we had earlier. Now everything is in centimeters. Okay. Okay. So now let's go back, and then I can remove the height now. So I can remove this column. So you see that column. Look at this column. You can see it's different from what I just showed you, where we had all of this. All right. So now we don't have all of this. We only have it in centimeters. Okay. All right. So now remove this column because we already have the height. So now when I look at my weight, you can also see that with the weight, a minute, please give me a minute, I'm coming. So now if you look at the, excuse me, I had to attend to something. If you look at this weight column, you can see that we have kilograms and we have lbs as well. And so now we can either convert everything into kilogram or into this. Okay, you can either convert everything to kilogram and into this. So I'm going to check what one this is equal to in kilogram. Okay. All right. So it's showing that 1 pound. So 1 pound of this. So this in pound, this in kilogram. And it's showing that 1 pound of this is equal to 0.454 kilogram. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to paste this right here. I'm going to say 1 equal to 0.454 kilogram. All right. So now this is what it's showing. So you are going to convert everything into kilogram. Okay. Okay. All right. But first, we need to separate them. So you are going to go back to our conditional columns, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to call it kilogram. I'm going to say if weight contains, this in small letters, so pay attention. kg. If you put them in capital letters, it's not going to work. Then select a column. We are going to call this weight. All right. So we have all this for kilogram. Okay. We have all this for kilogram. All right. So now let's move the kilogram from it. So I'm going to replace values. I'm going to replace the kgs with nothing. All right. Okay. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, all right. So where is that? All right. Come back here. And I need only for the LBS. Okay. So I'm going to say if weight does not contain kg, then that's what I want. All right. So select copy. I'm going to say weight. So in this case, this is what I want. All right. And then once I have it here, now what I'm going to say is that, so let me check this. So I'm going to remove all the LBS, all right, so that I can have it in text form in order for me to do my multiplication. All right. Okay. So I'm going to have this in text. All right. So now I can remove or replace the LBS attached to it with nothing. All right. So I'm removing them. All right. So now I can change this into whole numbers. And now once I have it here, now I can multiply it and say, all right. So this is the conversion. 1 LBS equals to 0.454 kilogram. Okay. So I'm multiplying that column by this. All right. Okay. I'm multiplying the column by the conversion rate, which is this. Okay. So now I've converted LBS, the LBS items into kilograms. Sorry. So this is supposed to be kilogram. All right. This is supposed to be kilogram. So now I can remove this. Okay. Now once that this is done, I need to merge this and this. Okay. So I'm going to merge the columns, and I'm going to call this weight in kilogram. Okay. All right. So now let me take the weight out. All right. Now I need to take the weight out. I need to take this column out. Okay. All right. So we are done with that. Now preferred food. Let me see. Looks okay to me. B roving looks okay to me. Best position looks okay to me based on what is here and then what this is showing. Join. I thought we were going to have problem with the date, but this looks pretty much okay to me if you ask me. That's so good. I would have taken a hell of a time. So this is very good. All right. Okay. So that is good. Now we are looking at value, wage, release clause. And what I can see is that they all have this thing over here that I'm not sure of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to put this right here. Then I'm going to just select this. All right. I'm going to select this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here, select this, and this. And I'm going to replace those values. Yeah, I'm just going to replace those values with nothing because I can see them in all three of them. All right. So I've replaced all of them. Now, once I'm done with that, what else can we see here? So now what we can see is that, let me check this. Be sure. I think I saw some kilograms some thousands keys mixed with the millions. All right, so you can see that we have some keys here. So this is 100k, which in essence is 100,000. All right, and this is 10.5 m, which is 10.5 million. But I think it would be better to have everything in either thousands or millions. All right, so we can do the exact same calculation for this, where we have everything in either millions or we have everything in what, in thousands. Do you understand? So what I want to show that, and that will also help us in our calculation. It will help us in our measures if you are doing or creating a dashboard for it. Okay, so I need all items with m separated and all items with k separated. All right, so for values, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here, and what I'm going to say is that, all right, value in m. I'm going to say column name, so value. So if this contains m, then I'm going to say enter value. I'm going to say I need a value. All right, I need a value column. So now I have this. So these are all items with m. Okay, so what I can do is that I can now remove the m's. All right, so replace values. So I'm replacing the m with nothing. All right, okay, so that's what I'm doing. You can see that. So now I can also come here and say now I need only those with k. All right, values in k. All right, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to say if value contains k, then select value. I'm going to say the value should be the output should be value. All right, okay. Now in this instance, I want to convert everything from thousands to millions. All right, now what is the conversion rate? And so what I'm getting is that 1000 is equal to 0.001 million. All right, so if 1000 equal to 0.001 million, then we'll be multiplying this particular column by 0.001. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to come here. Now this is in oh uh, all right, so the key, so we need to take the keys out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this text, and then I'm going to replace the keys with nothing. All right, so yeah, and then now I can do my multiplication. So I'm going to change this to whole numbers as well, and I'm going to multiply this column with 0.001. All right, so that will give us the items in millions. Okay, so if you look right here, what we are going to find is that the items are in millions. All right, so there is 0.04 in millions. Okay, all right, so again we can round these figures up because I can see some decimals, so we can round it to 2 decimal places. All right, so we are rounding it to 2 decimal places. Okay, all right, I'm going to say values now in millions. All right, then I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this, I'm going to remove them. All right, and then once I'm done, I'm going to merge this column and this column. All right, so I'm going to merge these columns as values. All right, in millions. So I'm going to values in millions. All right. All right. So now I have my values in millions. Okay. All right. Good. We are done working for the values in millions. Now we can go right back and then delete the values column that we have. All right. So where's the value column? Mm, yeah. So this column. So because we've already converted and we clean this particular column, we are going to delete this because we don't need this again. Okay. So remove. All right. So now we look at the wages column, and I want to see what we have here. So this is the wages column. Everything is in K, right? Everything is in K. So everything is in K. Everything is in thousands. So yeah, some of them I think they forgot to add a thousand. So you can just remove the keys from the ones with the. You can just remove the keys from the ones that has it, so that they'll all be as same as the other ones. Then we can make the title wages in thousands. All right, can make the title that right up. So what I'm going to say is again, I'm going to take the items with the K, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to say wages with K. All right, and I'm going to say if my wage contains K, should be capital. Then what do I want? I want that column. Okay, I want the wage column. Okay, and then okay. Okay. So now once I have it here like so, what I can do is go to make this text, sorry, and then I'm going to replace values. So I'm going to remove the keys and put nothing there. Okay, and replace with nothing. And I'm going to click on OK. All right. So now I can make this whole numbers again, and then I'll go back. I'll go right back and take the ones without the key. All right. Go right back here, and I'm going to say, now I want the one that does not contain key, right, so that I can merge them. Right, and I'm going to say, all right, if wage does not contain key, then that is what I want. All right. So that is what I want, and then okay. All right. So that's what I have here. So now I'm going to change this, and I'm going to make this whole number because these ones are all whole numbers. All right. So wages with key, I've changed that, I've worked on that, and then these ones that do not have key. So now I need to merge this one and then this column, all right, as wages. So now I need to merge them so that this now says we enter here. So I'm going to say wages in thousand, in thousands, all right. And I'm going to say okay. All right. Now what you need to pay attention to, these ones are all in text format, which is not what we want. So I'm going to select this and then this and then this and then this, all right. And I'm going to say, oh, I need to do them one by one, sorry. So I'm going to say this height should be in decimals because we have some decimals in there, all right. And then this width should also be in decimals because probably we have some decimals in there, all right. This as well, you can see some decimals. The wages also should have decimals, should be in decimals, not whole numbers. All right. So now I need to go and remove my wage, the wage I already have. All right. So now let's go remove this wage. Okay. I'm removing this. And then we have release clause. A release clause is also going to have similar problems. We have millions. We have millions. I'm only saying millions so far. Let's see. Mm. All right. So there are millions. All right. So we can see some thousands. So we need millions and thousands, and then convert everything into millions. All right. Like we did for the values. All right. So M and K. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to say release clause M, release clause M, that's millions. Now I'm going to say release clause. If release clause contains millions, it's capital M, then that's what I want. All right. Then I want the release clause column. All right. So once we have it here, now what we can do is we can replace the M's with nothing. M's with nothing. All right. And yeah, that's what we want. All right. So now I can change this and I can make this decimal. Okay. All right. And now let me go back, take the release clause again. This time around, I need the ones with K. So I'm going to say, we'll go back here and say release clause K. Say release clause K. I'm going to say that if column name is release clause and does not contain M, then that is indeed what I want. So I want that column. If it doesn't contain M, then I want that column. Okay. All right. So good. So we have that here. Now what I can do is that, or what we can do is that first we need to remove the key attached to it. So we can have it just in numeric or in figures. All right. So we are going to remove. So replace K. Replace our keys with nothing. All right. Okay. And now we can look at it. All right. So now we have this. These are in thousands. So 98,000, 980,000. All right. So we want everything in millions. And we've already established that. Establish it here. That 1,000 equals to 0.001. So what we are going to say is that this column going to say this column, right, multiplied by, okay, by the conversion rate, which is 0.001. Now we could have also used if how much one is equal to in millions, right? But yeah, it should work. Okay, so let me see if we need to make some roundings. Probably need to round some figures. Yeah, so let's round it to about 1 decimal place. All right. Okay. Okay. So now I can take this, and remove these columns, and then I can merge this column and this column. I can merge these two columns. All right. Like so. I can merge them into release clause in millions. Release clause in millions. All right. And then yeah. This should work. So now I can change this. And I can make this decimals. Okay. So now I'm going to take this out as well. Alright, now we can look at the other columns. See if there are any other things that we need to work on or with. This is taking a while. Patience. Alright. So I can see there's nothing wrong with attack, crossing, finishing, everything is fine. Heading, short passing, volley, scale, dribbling, all look good to me. They all look good. I mean, they look good. The view is showing that they look good. There are no empty cells or errors, and they are all numeric. The data types are correct. So yeah, accuracy looks good. Long passing, ball movement. But we'll be removing some of the columns that won't be needed. We don't need all the columns in our analysis. So these ones maybe we'll leave them in there, but there are some that will probably just take out. Okay, so So these ones are looking good. They're looking good. All right. They're all looking good so far. I think the ones that needed cleaning are those that before the work done. So that's good. I thought this project was going to take about 2 hours to 3 hours, but it looks like going smoothly. So I'm just waiting to see what these ones have before I move on. So not to skip anything. All right. They look good. They look good to me. They look good to me. All right. So this look good. They look good. So look at these ones. Let's look at this columns. Oh, yeah, they're all looking great. Like again, there are columns that if you figure you are not going to use, you can just take them out, right? So like this column, I don't know what this column and this column are, so I'm probably going to take them out. I don't even know what they are, so try cleaning them. Okay, so if you know what they are, you can obviously leave them in your work in your project and then clean them up after we've already done or I've already showed you how to clean them up, so it shouldn't be a problem. All right, so I'm removing these columns. Okay, so this is in text form, so nice. This is in text form. Nice. This IR, what is IR? All right, so I'm taking this out as well. Then we have AK. So these items I don't even know what they are, can just easily take all of them out. But since they don't require data clean, I decided to leave them. All right, you can decide to take them out to make your work smaller, or you can just decide to leave them in there. Now this heights, so I'm taking this heights out as well. Yeah. So yeah, so this is beautiful. So we're able to do some extensive data cleaning. I'm pretty sure you learned something new in this data cleaning project. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to share if you found this video helpful. All right, I really do appreciate it, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm. It helps for other people to also get to watch this video. All right, so yeah, I appreciate it so much, and I will see you in the next one.